about 5 minutes early, but who cares? Welcome everyone. We'll wait till there's somebody at least in the chat to say hello. How are y'all?
So yeah, how is everybody today?
Grand. There's one in the chat. If I could get somebody at least to say hello so that we know that you can hear us and we're live, that would be great.
Out there in the hallways, can you hear us?
It's like, hello, empty. There's 4 watching, 5 watching. Come on, someone, anyone, everyone. It's Irene. Irene,
Irene.
Hello, Irene.
I like Irene. She's very entertaining.
She?
Yes,
she's wonderful.
I really love her. She's an interesting woman. All right, Eric's not here. This is Rita.
Hi, Rita.
I love Eric's little skull. I did his little skull on one of my shows, and it was like, oh my God. It was like they were talking. From people from UK to America were talking to it, and it was like working. So very interesting, yes.
That sounds really, really good. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Mark. So tonight, guys, we're looking at the Zodiac Killer. But first of all, I really want to start out with, guys, you need to tune in to Simply Spooky. We have got different chats every day of the week. We are building at 100 miles per hour. Our Vivian, she's some woman, so she is. I'll let Vivian tell you more about Simply Spooky.
We're going to be getting more and more shows on, some coming over from the States.
Yeah. Woo!
Where is it?
You're baking on a Sunday night.
Yeah, it's going to grow really big, really quickly, and with the help of Lois as well.
Hello, Rona. Long time no see, my honey.
So if anyone wants a show or wants a spot, just get in contact, let us know. We'll get you in if the schedule allows, and let's get this going as big as we can.
Just get in contact. Sorry. That was my phone.
I was like, I heard voices.
That was me.
I was like, no. Already.
Oh, is that the first time you've been here? Well, Rona, you're in for a treat.
Well, that's an extra round of applause there for Rana. So, yes.
Definitely. So, tonight, obviously, you can see Nick's not here. Nick's in the basement for a month for bad behaviour. Nick is away on holiday. He's taking some time out, and I think he deserves it. So I've got our Vivian statement. I've just realised she's changed her name, Nicola. Sorry, we've got Nicola standing in for our Nicholas. So definitely. So how's everybody's week been?
That's the female name for Nick, isn't it, Nicola?
Yes, it is. That's absolutely correct. But I seen him wandering out in the cornfield. I'm like, why is he always playing with corn?
Nicola Corn.
What is it with him with corn? I just don't get it. Hey, Eric. Eric, I got your skull right here, and I love it. So,
I hope so.
Everybody in the UK wants one, by the way.
I'm getting one.
Paranormal.
Mine's on the way. Mine's on the way.
So is mine. But apparently he's sending it to you.
Yeah, and I'm going to post it up to you. Save on the postage for him.
Coolios. So tonight, obviously, we've picked a Zodiac Killer. Now, I find this one really, really interesting. They've never ever caught him. He's an unidentified serial killer who operated on North Carolina in the late 1960s. The case has been described as the most famous unsolved murder case in America. I'm sure there was a film done about the Zodiac Killer. There's been lots of films. The one that I watched recently was called Zodiac, and it was really, really good. Hi, Jacqueline. How you doing? Irene says it's a private joke with corn and Nick and Gorilla Glue. I sent him some Gorilla Glue the other day because he was having a bad day, so I sent him a meme. Hi, Joanne. So, it's became a fixture of popular culture and obviously many detectives have tried to solve attempt to solve the case. But he's murdered 5 known victims in the San Francisco Bay between December 1968 and October 1969. So yeah, what's your thoughts on the case, guys?
So he's actually claimed now officially to 37 people, right? But we know beyond a reasonable doubt that it's always more than that. So that's what they can, really tie him to is 37. Now, they didn't have DNA, eDNA, and contact DNA because in Charlestown, Indiana, they actually solved a 22-year-old case by contact DNA from a murder and a rape victim. So that was very interesting. That made the news for quite a while. But the only suspect the authorities ever public name was Arthur Lee Allen. And that was a former elementary school teacher, was a convicted sex offender who died in 1992. I don't know if y'all knew that or not.
I don't know that, no.
Yes. But once again, with the handling of the evidence, the envelopes to the news media, because back then, you had to lick the envelope, lick the stamp and everything else. They didn't think about that. They didn't have DNA evidence and how to collect that and so forth and how to preserve that. So, and I think really why it stopped in some cases, I think allegedly that the person was arrested at some point in time, right? Or he changed his memo and continued on, or just stopped, because in the movies we watched, he was either a family man, right, with the family, with children, or he was a loner. So which is it? I mean, we really don't know. And that is the continuous mystery of the person involved.
I also think that, the copycat side of things that came out afterwards, I think really was him. And he changed his MO because I don't know. I think that they might have got a little bit too close. And so he changed the way things done. There was a few copycat killers that have come in time after him. I think it's the same man. I just think that he just changed a little. He tweaked things a little just to get people off the scent. I think this whole thing, I think it's an illness. I think like alcoholism, people say, oh, just stop drinking. It's not that easy. It is an illness. It's a recognized illness. And I also think, with these serial killers, when it gets to past a certain point, that drug, if you like, or whatever it is that's created within them's already taken a hold, is like an illness. I don't think he ever stopped. And I think he killed more than what went on.
Right. So and I do agree with you. Now, this is one of the notes that the Zodiac Killer actually handwritten. And one of the things that I was in law enforcement that I took and I studied on the side as well was handwriting analysis. And handwriting analysis told you a lot about the suspect, and what the FBI knows is what we call them as profilers, right? Because they can identify a person about their MO and how they write, and it tells you about the subject. So this is a sample of how he wrote or she wrote, but we know it was a he because of the ones that actually did survive, right? But this is one of the ones that was not very well known in the public eye figure, and I wanted to display his writing. So one of the things that we do look at on handwriting analysis is how they write, whether it's how they press on the letters. When we talk about how we press, how hard you press, and then on the upstroke, how light. You can tell on the numbers. You know, it tells about your character, how you cross your letters, right, and so forth. And I'm not going to give too much away because of law enforcement and how they do their cases, but it also tells you on how they write on the slope and angles. And if you want to study that, you can buy the books or you can do your own research on the internet, but on how people write on the angles and the curvatures and on their sentences. That's why when law enforcement gives you a pad and paper, they used to give you pad and paper without lines. And that way they can see how you would write, because that would tell you a lot about a person. But I just wanted to share that little piece of information with the audience.
You know, put that picture back up.
Sure.
I noticed, and I don't know if anyone else noticed on there, you have that famous circle with the cross in it, but next to it, the phallic symbol that has been drawn also tells you a lot. And again, this is like profiling somebody. I wrote to somebody quite synonymous who used to draw a lot of phallic symbols and very anti-establishment, and the phallic symbol was used a lot to describe feelings and the way he was with it. But you can see here. So to me, like, don't write this guy off, because look how he's drawn that. Do you see what I mean?
Glad I don't do handwriting.
He's quite an artistic guy. I mean, look at the shading, the drawing, whatever he is, he's trying to say there. I don't understand it because I'm not that of that mind. But I used to study art at school, and this is someone that has taken his time to put a little piece of him in there. He's given away clues there.
Yeah, and that is a damn pretty much a perfect circle.
Yeah,
if you notice that, right? Now, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people cannot draw a perfect circle. I cannot.
No.
So
he's done it. He's done it a few times. If you look at the O's for Jello, yellow, that whatever that is, the 6:30,
right?
Yeah, and
I'm guessing
the 12:20.
What I'm guessing with the numbers, right, is that's dates of when he's committed murders. The 20th to the 12th, 68 might be the time that he's began, or it's the time that he's committed the murder. And then if you notice, right, he got October, right, he got caught the year, he only did a year in murder. So maybe that's another murder victim's time, the 4th, the 7th, because I know in America, the dates, they don't date like we do in the UK. We date like our dates would be
you all date funny.
No, we date funny in the UK, right? So in the UK we would date 2012.
Americans that do it funny.
Yeah, you all date funny.
Hey Nettie.
I noticed though, Lo, he's put dates, and then he's changed his tempo there, but by writing the actual month, in shorthand, but he's written September rather than putting
Bill
the month in there. So,
but when he did the 6:30, and I'll give you this clue: when he did the 6:30, he was thinking about the time.
Yeah.
Because when he did the dots, he sat there and he circled the dots. He was like 6:30 sounds good.
Yeah.
So that was his process, was what times it was. I know it was 6, but I won't say any more because I don't want to give out evidence on police investigations. But I actually worked for a private company when I got out of law enforcement, and one of the corporate people, they were having problems with I dealt with suicide ideations, workplace violence, and internal theft, and some other things for a company. And they brought me 2 statements, and they were like, okay. And they wanted to test me. I knew what it was. They're like, all right, tell me what's going on. And I read the statements right away. I'm like, where are you going? They're like, well, I want you to read it and tell me what's going on. I'm like, well, just stand right here, because this one is not telling the truth. And this one will confess. And this one is elaborating. And I'll tell you why. And I was like, give me 5 minutes in the room with this person and I'll get you a confession. And they're like, no way. I'm like, bring him in. HR brought him in. And within 2 minutes and 47 seconds, I had everything that I told the corporate person what I said. They're like, how did you know that? And I said, because the handwriting analysis, I can tell exactly. Yeah. Because the human body does not want to lie, ladies and gentlemen. And what I always tell people when I do my crime shows is that it's not what they say, it's how they say things, right?
Yeah.
Like the police department. And, you know, when the police department will tell you things to the media, listen to what they say and what words they say. That will
hope you're well, honey.
To the case. And they will tell you things like when, you know, Nicola, you know, if I'm a suspect and you don't know that, you know, of course, I'm going to try to give you false leads to lead you away from the crime scene or me, right? That's why they always, you know, does anybody want to hurt you? Is anybody after you? You know, right? Well, yeah. You know, Lois, you know, she's evil. She's been mean to me. You know, she hates me, you know, so now I'm trying to shoot. So, I mean, it's just small things like that after years, you know, of training and experience. And, you know, a lot of people, of course, you watch CSI and crime shows. A lot of people pick up on that, you know, but I'm just throwing it out there for people that don't know.
Do you think also the eye blinking when they're lying? I've been told that that's a real prominent thing that people look for. And it's the amount of time where they're looking and the eye blinking thing that is a really big thing. They were using that here in the UK for a couple of crimes. What
you have to do on that, okay? So before you can even use any of that, you have to establish the norm. You have to establish a baseline. And once you establish the baseline, I can tell if you're telling me if you're being deceitful or not. Yes.
Yeah.
But you just can't just go into a room and start asking questions. No. You have to get the baseline and understand how a person works. Then once you understand how they tick and talk, then yes, you can use certain things like that against them. Absolutely. And that's body language, micro expressions. Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, the Eric's just took the words right out of my mouth. They must be sidekick. I was thinking, it's if you look to your left, they always say if somebody looks to their left, then that means that they're lying. I mean, think about the Zodiac Killer was like. I mean, he coined his name, and that comment won't go away. He coined his name in a series, taunting letters to the newspapers, in which he threatened killing sprees and bombings if they did not print his letters. I mean, some of his letters, oh my God, it would take an age to crack. And he claimed that he was collecting his victims as slaves for the afterlife. Some of the ciphers, there's 4 ciphers that he produced. 2 remained unsolved, and 1 was only cracked in 2020. Now, think about it, that's taken a lot of years to crack them. While many theories are that identify the killer's been suggested, the only suspect, as you say, was Arthur Lee Allen. Though is that, you know, even though it ceased communications around 1974, it's the unusual nature of the case that led to, you know, the years of wondering what are these. I would love personally to crack it because it's one of the ones I've always been interested in. It's almost like hieroglyphics, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, but that's his hieroglyphics, if that makes sense. Holly says, how do you deal with really good storytelling? That Grizzly, that's for you.
So it's real easy, right? So we'll use Lois for an example. Lois, make yourself a full screen.
How do you
Yeah,
do that?
yeah, just
Like,
yeah. Okay, now Lois, how are you doing today?
I'm absolutely fine, thank you.
So what is today?
Sorry.
What is today? What day?
What about day? It's Thursday.
Okay, and what'd you have for breakfast yesterday?
For breakfast yesterday, I didn't have a thing.
Okay, and what'd you have the day before?
The same. I'm not really a breakfast fan at all.
What's your favorite food?
Chinese or Italian.
When's the last time you had it?
Last week.
Yeah, what day last week though?
Oh God, now you're asking, Grizzly.
So now, if you watch Lois' expressions when I'm asking her just basic questions, right? Now, if you're looking the way she's looking and general directions while she's looking, now I know where she's looking from her memory bank. So now when she's starting to look from her opposite direction, that is where she is starting to fabricate information. So now I'm already starting to establish a baseline. So when I start to actually ask other questions, I know that she's not telling me the truth. So I'm not going to give away any more evidence. But yes, so that's how I know. So, but there are ways to debunk people.
But it's not foolproof, though, is it, though, Grizzly? I mean, you could still have the wrong person there.
Yeah, you can. Yes, you can. But if you are a very good interviewer, you can always. And I have people be sitting there, be like, telling me a story, and they'll be like, tell me, and they'll just blurt out the truth. They're like, damn, you got me. And I'm like,
but then there's the flip side of it where they could just give you a load of lies and be very good at this little game, and you'll believe it.
They always trip up. They always trip up because there's ways. And I don't want to divulge too much because of if there's any bad people watching, but there are ways to poke holes in people's stories. And it's not hard to do if you're real good with interviewing. But that was just one example of showing Lois how to just to get a baseline, because Eric was like, well, if you look left, if you look right, and that's just one of the things. But you got to have many flags, right? You got to have many warning signs. I mean, you just can't use one symptom, right?
But so, I think in America, and especially with the Zodiac case, and I don't know if it was always the case, each state have their own laws and their own way of doing things. And sometimes I think some of it clashes. And I think a lot of the time things go on over there and in the past that people have got away with for so long, so many murders, all sorts. I think you'll find the serial killers over there, they're all sitting together. They're most probably rubbing their hands, and they've got a little, I don't know, and a ring going, oh, well, go on this state and kill this person. You know, I just feel over there, it's not uniformed. It's not, as they do a good job, don't get me wrong. I mean, I've been watching a lot of court TV. I watch that a lot. But I just think that there are flaws, and sometimes these people are well aware of it, and they just slip right under the radar.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if a serial killer has done all this work, really proud of his work, whatever he's done, and then another one's taking the glory for it. It angers them. It's a real big. I've seen that. I've seen films about it. I've seen documentaries about it. I know there was even a serial killer that talked about it. But for a serial killer to take somebody else's, and it happened with Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
So with the Zodiac Killer, no doubt, because he's got all this notoriety about him now, who he is, what he's doing, and he's working hard, sending these notes and letters and all. This is me. I just think that he was fighting too hard to say that wasn't me. This is me. And if somebody else is taking the credit for me, I'm going to put a stop to it. I'll kill somebody else. You know, there's all this sort of thing that goes into play. And I think the media makes things worse in the capture of these people. definitely
I couldn't
100%.
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. So if you have murders in a small geographic location, you're more likely to get caught, right? And be
Yes.
noticed.
Yeah.
So if you're doing it, you know, in another state or larger geographic area away from where you're at, you're less likely to get captured because the other agencies are not going to talk, right? Unless right. So and that's the problem because we had people, the torso killer and so forth, that would drive from New York and cut up bodies and toss out the body parts all the way from New York down to Florida. And they didn't get caught for years, and they got caught murdering somebody in Florida, and they slipped up in the interview room like, "Oh yeah, I did 4 other people," and they're like, oh, "Yeah, we knew about that," and no, they didn't, you know. And they're just like, and they rode with it, and then they found out others, you know. And there's some people that get caught, and they're like, you know, I'll tell you this about, but I'm not going to tell you the others. And they're like, why? You're going to die anyways, you know. What's another 700 years on your life, right? Then I'm like, I'm not going to tell you. Well, we want the bodies for the family. Sorry, we're done. So that's it. So
that's the biggest
really
thing that they can take, though, isn't it? It's not just the life of the victim. It is taking the actual victim away from the family and having that power. It cuts a lot deeper, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, look at obviously our case over in Britain, and I'll still go on about this for ages, for years probably, but I'm really, really heart sorry for that woman, Keith Bennett's mother, who never even knew, died, and didn't even know where her child was. And Ian Huntley knew exactly where he put him, and he never ever,
in Brady,
ever. Yeah, I so he did. Sorry, my head's up my arse tonight. So Brady obviously died and knew where that boy was, and he never ever told MD, and he had every opportunity to give Winnie, the mother's name's just came back to me, Winnie, the opportunity, but he never did, and that woman died without even knowing it. And I think that seriously, as a mother, that would kill me.
Yeah.
That would kill me. Somebody knew where my child was and just wouldn't tell. I think there should be some sort of way, and I'm not saying violence. I don't agree with the violence. I'm not saying like slam them against walls and punch them up and down until they tell you. But I think there should be a way of getting out of them. Just no through violence.
If a person doesn't want to tell, they're not going to tell. If they're not going to tell under torture, and torture is a big thing right across the world, even if they were under torture, let's say they were in the Middle East and they wouldn't even tell under torture, they're not going to give that information because that's the last bit of power that they have over somebody.
He is in a category prison, Franklin, up north. He's dead now, Jamie.
Well, and that's where a lot of people got a lot of false confessions because from starvations, from being beaten and so forth. You know, they just couldn't handle what they were being treated, and they were just finally just confessed to get it over with.
Holly says my grandmother offered to flip the switch on Bundy. She thought they took so long. Who's dead? Ian Brady. That's who we're talking about, Ian Brady.
Moore's murders.
Jamie, wake up! But there was a 2009 episode on the History Channel. There was a television show called Mystery Quest, and they investigated a newspaper editor, Richard, I can't pronounce his second name. During the time of the murders, this editor worked for the Good Times, which was a San Francisco newspaper. His appearance, when they obviously showed the picture of the Zodiac Killer, his appearance actually resembled the sketch. And one of the police dispatchers who was contacted by the Zodiac shortly after the Blue Rock Springs attacks, identified a recording of this guy's voice as being the same as the Zodiac. Hey, Kelly,
Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Jamie, busy day. Viv. Eric says we should put all the serial killers back on. Funny enough, I'm doing a show on that. Some let it escape and take bets on who gets eaten by a shark first. Well,
Do you know what
hey,
I think?
Kelly.
I think put all the serial killers to death. I've got quite strong views. I think
I totally agree
they
with
should be
you.
put to death and their bodies donated to science to help to find cures for diseases, to whatever. I think they should be, that their last days on earth shouldn't be long. Donate them to the laboratories, do what you want with them, put them to death, give them an injection, finish them off, and just put them in an incinerator. I just think that it is disgusting that some of them that I can understand. Well, I can't understand, but the murder side of it is murder. But then to do the other things that they may or may not do to the bodies, I can't understand. Yep. That's some sick person. And if their illness can help somebody else get better, I'm all for that. You know,
guys, I'll be back in a sec.
But I got very strong views about it. You know, that's just me. I believe it. I'm all for the death penalty. I don't believe that keeping somebody incarcerated for the next 20 years while they're waiting to be put to death is a good idea. I think that's a waste of time and effort. And in effect, that's torturing that person while they're waiting to die. Just get on with it. You know, do something or get on with it. Don't. That's just me.
But a lot of tax dollars to go to house them and medical and whatever else that goes to them too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, and I understand sometimes there's innocent people that get accused of crimes that they didn't commit. I do get that. We have a very famous case over here with oh God, I forget his name now. He was on top of the roof. And he said, let him have it. And he was of age to go to prison. The others were too young to be tried. So he actually got the hangman's noose. He was found not guilty because it was said that he had a form of Asperger's or something. And he got a royal pardon. But, you know, at the end of the day, there is no smoke without fire. And I'm sure these investigators do their job thoroughly. If we can rely on our police, and they do their job. That's it, Derek Brentley. If that we can rely on the police and they are scrutinised and we have a good police system, there's no reason why these things should be prolonged. You know, do the job, do it properly, get it done, get them off the streets, and let's protect your citizens. I do know that by watching and what I do and watching, it's on in the background all the time, that there was recently a serial killer on the loose in California. Now, there was a report of it that came up very quickly, and then you never heard anything. So I'm presuming that he's still at large and he hasn't been caught. I just hope to God that they catch this guy or woman very quickly, and loss of life is minimal, you know. But these people do have illnesses, there are issues, and I just think for the sake of one person, you save the lives of many. Is that really a crime?
No, I mean, I totally agree with you. It's, you know, I call them soulless people, right?
Yeah.
How can they act and do something and go to sleep at night and not think nothing of it, or go to work the next day and then just live a normal life, or go home to the family and eat dinner and act like nothing happened. So it's just unbelievable. So,
Grizzly, do you think the internet and the media that we have today could attract more out of the woodwork? Because it's all this fame, look at me thing, like with the Zodiac Killer and the letters and what he had written. That is like attention seeking to the extreme. Do you think that if that was around during his time, he would have gone even further still?
I think he was a thrill seeker. Yes, I think it would have been much worse. It probably would have aided to probably apprehend him though, because the IP address and so forth. Because didn't he switch from handwriting to a typewriter? I think he did, didn't he? The typing.
I'm not sure. It's been so long since
I know it's been so long, but I know some serial killers use typewriters. Then they had to use forensics to use the typewriters to match the letter. Now, Lois, did the Zodiac Killer didn't he switch from handwriting to a typewriter?
I'm sure he did at some point.
Yeah, I thought he did. I wasn't for sure. I couldn't remember.
I'm just quite looking through the comments. There you go. Sorry, guys. I had to nip to the loo there. Had to go to the wee ladies' room. So what did I miss? No much.
We're just talking about the death penalty and
the death penalty. I've got to say, I'm 50-50 on it. I think it's a good thing. I think an eye for an eye, and I think it's good. But then the flip side is, how many innocent people gets killed on death penalty?
Well, and as we just said, is it better not to kill, to take the life of one, innocent or not, than to risk the life of many that could be killed under the hands of either mass murderers or serial killers? Look at David Koresh. You know, it just, you know, I don't think there's smoke without fire. And if you can't rely on your police force and they're not doing their job to protect the innocent, then there's something seriously wrong, isn't there?
Well, next week, guys, I've picked a show. It's going to be a wee bit controversial.
Oh, we like a controversial one.
I've picked a cracker for next week's, right? And I will warn you that it's going to be very, very graphic. But I've picked for next week's show about cops who kill. So can we really trust the cops these days? It's going to be so. Grizzly, hold on tight.
Yeah, so you know, Nicole Bully comes to case. You know, I blew out the UK police when they put out that they tested the Fitbit and replicated the heartbeat on the body in the river, and I was like, BS. There's no possible way. Show me the proof. Show me that you did the test by video or the scientific test. And did y'all hear what I did on that case?
No, I didn't hear.
You didn't? Oh, I call Fitbit and I record the conversation. And I felt sorry. I felt sorry for the two people I called because I was asking questions about dead bodies, and they were like, and I know they were flagging like, I need somebody help. This guy's talking about dead bodies, and I wanted scientific evidence or proof because I knew how it worked, and it on the website it showed and it explained how the Fitbit worked on a body and how it read your heartbeat. And it stated it had green LEDs that read the capillaries. And when your heart beats, the capillaries expand and retract, and that's how it read the heartbeat. Well, the UK police said that the water in between the Fitbit and the skin replicated a heartbeat. No, it didn't. I knew better. So to prove them wrong, I called Fitbit and talked to their technical department and got all that on audio and played that on my show. So they were not happy, I guarantee on that.
Well, Sarah says, are you reading my mind tonight? First Viv when she was talking about Derek Bentley, and now Lois says I was literally thinking about cops that kill. Due to this matter, guys, I might need to move the show a wee bit later because I do realise it's quite early in America.
Oh, it's after the water show. Oh, America, yes.
Yeah, because I'm thinking
Watershed.
American time because obviously, know that I expect Viv you to do the show, Viv.
Put the warnings out beforehand, so if they watch it, they've had
Yeah.
the warnings.
Yeah, because obviously next week one is going to be controversial and it's going to be very, very graphic. So I do pre-warn you guys, and I will put a very, very strong warning out about it because it's something that we need to discuss. I know there was a show done over in Britain by Will. Can't even remember his second name, but I know his face is coming to me. He did a show on Cops Who Kill. So that kind of gave me the inspiration because I thought, you know, it's one of, if I'm going to do crime shows, then I'm going to have to get the gloves on. You know, I can't do the let's just worry. I'm getting to the age now. I'm 34 and I don't give a fuck. So I'm going to be like a Piers
Wait till you hit
Morgan.
menopause.
It's like I just don't care. If I'm going to do these shows, I'm going to have to get the balls and do it. Terry says, "Do I need parenting guide?"
Always, Terry. Always.
You're too young to be watching it, Terry. I don't want you having nightmares too, Willies. You don't look 34. I'm no shitting you. I'm 34. Absolutely 34. 35 in September. But yeah, definitely. So it'll be good. It will be good, and it'll be good, Grizzly, to have you as well from your point of view, because I'm sure in the divorce you've worked with bent coppers.
Oh yeah, You always got a few.
Oh,
there's
God.
always the flip side of it as well, Lois, because there was a copper in America that thought about killing someone, didn't actually do it. He thought about it, and they took him to court for it because he had these thoughts. Do you know about that one, Grizzly? I think he was a New York cop. Oh, I'll have to find the details and send them to you, Lois. Oh my God.
Iron brew is good for you. It keeps my youngish looks and it makes me good looking.
Yeah.
Nick says, fuck's sake, Nick's not even here. Sarah Louise says it's the ultimate act of betrayal, a cop that kills you. And the thing about it is, Sarah, is that people are becoming, and it's not just in Britain, it'll be in America as well. In fact, I've actually witnessed a few videos, and what it'll probably be controversial for America because there's a lot what goes on, and sometimes people think it's race, so I'll be kind of touching on that one as well because I was watching a video last night, a soldier, and he was actually in the right because he was getting antagonised by this person who was African, and obviously he was trying to calm this guy down, and anyway, long story short, he was on the ground and the soldier was on top of him to stop him from hitting him. And all of a sudden, these people were rushing over and assuming that it was because he was African. That is why the soldier was doing it. And there was this person, and I shouldn't laugh, and it was just so funny. But this person in the wheelchair came with a bat, trying to, holding it at the soldier, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm just like, please don't swing that bat, please don't swing it. But it was all it's a big thing. But if we can't trust the cops these days, and there's a lot that's happening in the UK with the metaphor, I can't even say that word, Viv. The metaphor, the big station, the big cop station. There's a lot of
Metropolitan Police or
the Metropolitan. That's that. There's a lot coming out with them. They have, the amount of recently that's came out being domestic abusers, rapists, and if we can't trust the police these days, then what?
I think as well we have to take into consideration not just excusing the police, But we as a people, I saw the video from start to finish with the knee on the neck of the guy in Minnesota.
George Floyd.
Yes. And there were people standing on the sidewalk that had come out of the shop, filming, shouting that, get off him, he can't breathe, and all the rest of it. Why didn't those people take on the police? Are they really? There was only, 4 of them? 4, 5 of them? And there was a lot more public than there was police. Now, if the public were that strong about what the police were doing were wrong, why didn't you just charge them? We as a people have to take responsibility as well. If I see a wrongdoing, I'll challenge. I don't care if you've got a uniform. I don't care if you're royalty. I will still challenge you. If I see what I see with my own eyes is wrong, do something about it. Don't just sit and moan about it after the fact. That poor guy is now dead, regardless of what he done in the past, regardless of what previous convictions he may or may not have had. It's irrelevant. If you see something wrong, do something about it with your feet. Don't stand there filming it, hoping that you'll get justice after. It's too late.
Sarah Louise said that the ultimate act of betrayal, a cop that kills. I improve, put scissors in your chest waiting out to a check. I've got plenty here. Polly says, yeah, that was bullshit. Thanks, Sarah. Can't even get that word out. Holly, unfortunately, on the average, you can't trust the cops. Terry says, I don't get why Coos over here laugh and joke and be matey with criminals. No respect or trust. Sarah Louise says they have guns over in America.
They have guns over here, only it's not reported. Seriously, there are guns everywhere. It's not just America.
Robert says, traced my family tree back to 1800. My great-great-great-grandfather, a postman, a bloody postman. I was wanting to be an Indian fighter or a general of some army high-ranking person. Hate to tell you, love, but you're a fucking postman. But definitely, it is one of those things that it's a hard one. It's a hard one, and I'm sure Grizzly. Wait, no, that isn't who I think that is. That's my boy.
What's up, guys?
There you go.
You're supposed to be on holiday.
I am. Just want to come on for just a few minutes.
Yeah, playing in the cornfields, I see.
Grizzly,
the odd roach.
Hit the tune. You cannot have Nick on and not hit the tune.
Yeah, I was going to say, where the hell's the tune? I'm surprised.
You didn't
I
hear
know.
What's up, Sarah?
Hi, Sarah Louise. No, we can't hear it.
You didn't hear the tune?
No.
Oh, I had the wrong hit. Hold on. Let me redo it again. I had the wrong button hit. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, there we go. Playing the cornfield.
My boy, I'm happy to see you. So, Nick, what's your thoughts about cops over in America?
Oh, that's an interesting question, because that's we've been talking about it so much. It's just been absolutely insane of what's been happening over for the last couple of years, and even still happening as of now. It's
Sarah Louise said hi.
Good to see you, Sarah. It's very controversial, and it makes me kind of question, who's really, protecting the people and who aren't, especially when it comes to people of other races. It's just, and I know you guys brought up briefly about George Floyd, and I still remember that first footage was leaked. Awful. That footage was unsettling.
Yeah, it was awful. What was more unsettling for me was the public that watched it, that were at the sidewalk. Not the act itself, ridiculous. It shouldn't have happened. But the fact that people were standing there, and there was a lot of them. There wasn't just one or two. And it's like, why the hell did you not do something? Why didn't you do something?
If I was in that situation, I mean, I don't care basically if you're not supposed to. I mean, they could have whoops, they can arrest me all they want and put me in jail.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let somebody, die in front of us.
No.
But no, Nick, if there was one thing you would get done for, it would be Nick the Flasher.
Knew Nick was going to come involved somewhere.
Well, Grizzly, it's either you that gets naked or Nick. I don't mind getting the toss up. There's a coin. Heads or tails, lads.
Grizzly.
Yes.
Grizzly.
Oh,
Voting
Lord.
for Grizzly.
There we go.
Hey, guys, guess who's also going to be coming on? Guess who's also going to be
Hi, Jeremy.
Look at that sex machine there. He's looking good again.
Here, I'll zoom in for solo layout.
Oh, you don't need to do that.
Too late.
Nobody wants to see.
Well, you know what, Nick, you're relegated to number 2 again.
Hold on. Let me get on this side.
Yeah.
So that the banner is not blocking the face.
You're looking good there, though. You really are.
You're
Good to see
looking
you.
handsome. Very, very handsome.
Oh man, and it freezed when I.
Yeah, I
did
know.
that,
The connection's a little bit low, but it's not terrible.
Yeah.
No, but it's definitely it's good to see you two guys, and I hope you are having a good road trip.
Yeah, we made it. What time? Damn it, that is the second time already. Just dropped the damn mouse.
You know what? How about this? Just put it right here.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Hey, Mr. Seaton.
Yeah, so what time did we get here last night?
Too late.
Well, I know it was sometime after midnight.
It was about 1 a.m. local time.
Oh, wow.
Wow, long journey.
Yeah, get rid of that.
Yeah.
Well, y'all was playing in the cornfields, I see.
Yeah,
We
With your
went through
Gorilla
a
Glue.
lot of cornfields.
It was doing overtime for the Gorilla Glue.
see, last night, originally we were supposed to have been here between 8 and 9 o'clock.
Jeremy, apparently, Eric, you look sexier. Twitch the eye patch.
No. Hell no.
No. But of course, obviously, as such trips like this, we had to make a few stops, to either get gas, use the rest areas, of course, grab something to eat. So
yeah, one of those times we actually ate in the restaurant because we were eating Subway, and it'd be impossible to eat a Subway in a car without dropping anything.
No.
Yeah, I completely agree on that one.
We did stop in one gas station where we actually took a couple of pictures because the view with, again, the cornfields and stuff, it was actually a really beautiful.
There it is.
It was with the tractors.
The tractor stuff,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
Scott never did post those pictures yet. I'm gonna have to remind.
Yeah, it's up to him if he wants to post it.
Hi, Nigel for the North Pole. We've got Nigel for the North Pole with us. But yeah, so Jeremy, next week I am doing a controversial show about cops who kill. So I'll put a strong warning out on the show. Alrighty.
Nick, look, I've just my alter ego down there is Nicola.
What's that?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
It says Nicola eats corn and plays with Grizzly. I should put Nicola Muley.
Oh God! So that's my impersonator.
Wayne says I found it hard enough eating a bacon baguette on my flight home through Corfu. Don't rub it in because you were in Corfu, Seaton. But yeah, definitely. But I'm so happy to see you, Nick. Definitely, I wasn't expecting. Yeah. I just looked down at the bottom and I was like, "Is that Nick? For fuck's sake!" Like,
all we're doing right now
is sweet little cheeky face, though. He's up to no good on that trip. You know that there's going to be lots of stories coming when he gets back home.
That's the whole point of being on trips like these, so that you can be up to no good.
That's that. what happens in the wood
Otherwise, there's
stays in the
no
wood.
doing this at all.
It's not as sweet and
Why don't you
innocent
tell
as he
him
makes
already
himself
one
out
story?
to
You
be.
guys,
Honestly,
try getting my picture while I was sleeping.
Did she say cops or something else?
Whoa.
So
Yep, I said
how
cop.
it is when you go on these long trips, somebody falls asleep, somebody takes a picture, and then they post it.
Which
Well, at
on
least
Well,
it wasn't a permanent marker.
Going to fall asleep.
yeah. Well, no, it was actually Scott who did, but I never got
Yeah,
the
and who
chance.
didn't take the picture?
Nick, I showed that picture to people at work. They were asking me who
Nick.
you were.
Nick
about a half
has
hour
been in the
away.
woods again.
This guy's starting to fall asleep. I thought, okay, I'm going to take a quick picture. I turned my flash on, thinking, real quick flash picture. This is Scott.
Hi,
Yeah,
Scott.
yeah.
So the flash goes off, and the flash stays on. Wakes him up, and by the time he actually took the picture, he was already awake.
Yeah, I was like
that.
I was literally like this. I was like,
Yeah, and I didn't think that flash stayed on for a good 5 seconds. I thought, okay, try again later.
He would have done a dancey.
wait, no, 5 minutes later, I
Yeah.
fall asleep.
5
again.
minutes later, he falls asleep. I turn my flash off, turn it on night vision, and got a good picture of him.
Oh wow, you need to see this, Jeremy.
Well, it's on my phone and it's in the kitchen charging.
Damn it,
Okay,
I
what
hate
is
this.
this?
This keeps popping up when I have the cursor over this thing.
Don't curse.
I've tried getting rid of it. I haven't.
Oh, no, not get rid of it. Just block it.
True. Oh my God, Wayne.
I know he's definitely doing a Dan pose.
The way he did, I just didn't get that picture because there was a specific look, like he was a crazed serial killer,
Yeah.
like that. I was really hoping I was going to get that picture, but it didn't happen.
That's what I seen in the mirror when I was back there. It was
I definitely would have loved that pose because that would be a good meme for Nick. If I could create a Nick meme, that would be it.
Well, I
Just
can
wait,
always
we
I
just
can
get-
still make
just
a
get
meme out of
Nick's
the one I did
face.
get of you with the flash.
Nick's face and put it on the gorilla on the logo of Gorilla Glue.
You know what? When we were actually at the gas station when we were having lunch, I looked over to my left and I'm like, oh my God, Jeremy. I pointed like, check this out. What's right across? It wasn't Gorilla Glue, but it was Gorilla Tape.
It does not work very well on certain things. So if that Gorilla Tape or even Alien Tape works on everything, they're lying.
what was you using it for?
Well,
Grizzly,
Look at that.
do you
Look at
really,
that,
do
ladies
you
and
really want
gentlemen.
to know?
I have a dash mount for my phone in the car.
Yeah,
It is one of
good
those-
answer. Good answer.
Base that sticks to the dash, and then the actual mount sticks on it with a suction thing. The suction never lasts, especially if it's hot.
You're supposed to lick it.
Oh boy, how can I say this without getting really inappropriate? Say that is
Jeremy, you should know. You should know. You should know that show, Jeremy, is no filters. So please don't feel free to have filters.
I don't know why it's doing that.
Yeah, that doesn't
See if
make
I
any
can-
sense.
See if I can turn it off. You can still talk while I'm doing this. Oh, wait. Here. Change screensaver.
Just so that you know, he has 10 tabs open.
That I could believe.
But, you have to do something in the settings.
I should have pressed apply then.
But
About it later.
tomorrow night, guys, on Frighteners, we are doing. Nick, you're missing a cracker. Tomorrow night, we are doing haunted hospitals versus asylums. I know you are like, oh, it's going to be like,
Wait. We
you
got
know,
some.
Come on.
but it's going to be different. Hi! Hi.
How are you doing?
And of course,
Uh-oh.
What happened?
Oh, they've froze.
Wait, no, they're back. We're back.
see, this is
Hi,
what
India.
Adrian
And here, Adriana.
Mike presence breaks shit.
That's not that bad. So yeah, tomorrow night, guys, that's what we're doing in Frighteners. I know it sounds like we're doing the same thing, but it's not really, because if you really think about it, a difference between an actual hospital and a mental asylum. So I'm really looking forward to this one, because it'll be a good one. There'll be so much to talk about. And tomorrow night we're joined by Wayne Seaton. So it's going to be a really, really good show, guys. But I want to thank Vivian for obviously standing in. I want to thank Nick, Adriana, and Jeremy for popping in. Thank you so much, guys. And Grizzly, it's always a pleasure and never a chore.
Oh, thank you very
Look at
much.
that gorgeous
Yeah.
face of Grizzlies. How could
Oh, thank
you
you.
not
That
like
theme
it?
song
I-
before we get off.
That's right. Always, man.
Oh, you don't know about the theme
Yeah.
song?
no enlighten
Right
me.
there.
Grizzly, explain.
Yeah. So every time Nick comes on, man, we got to play a song, you know? Yeah. Break it on, Nick. Yeah.
Let's hear his tune before we go.
I wonder I couldn't hear them very well.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Turn it up.
You didn't hear it?
No, we didn't hear the
No,
rest.
you need to turn it up.
There you go. That's Nick's theme music. Nicky, Nicky,
That's,
Nicky, what
that's
you do?
because Nick is a PIMP.
I'm done.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
But everybody have a good night. We'll see you. Oh,
yeah, really quick, I want to show you guys this. This is Nick's first time seeing one of these.
Yes.
oh, wow, you got a bit.
Oh,
We
Oh,
we
wow.
published a magazine back in January, the American Paranormal
solo it.
magazine. This magazine is actually still a bit.
Yeah, I put on solo so you can get a better look.
Oh my God, that's really, really cool, Jeremy.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we got Nick right here, me, Adrian is here. Yeah.
Definitely, that looks absolutely amazing. Where can people get that, Jeremy? Or is that just one of the copies that you've got for yourself?
Put the cursor right there. No,
Oh, wait,
in here.
Oh, and
Oh,
on
I
here.
already did it. Never
Yeah,
mind.
it's a touch screen.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, and don't worry, I finally cleaned that screen.
Did you like it?
Good. 'Cause
No,
you were like,
no, Jeremy was
Two
nice. enough
seconds,
to go to the
guys.
grocery- He was nice enough to go to the grocery store and give me a whole package of wipes.
Yeah, we also had to get some
Oh.
cheese. There is the website you can go to. You would have to find it in one of the buy magazines. It's buried down there because they release multiple magazines a month or every other month, mainly because they're doing different state editions. So this year,
hiya, Carl.
Hey, Carl.
hi Carl. This year is the Indiana edition. So several other different states have their own, like New York, Minnesota, Alabama, all of those, and they're also beginning work on international editions as well.
Awesome.
So, Lois, you guys might have soon in the UK real soon.
That would be amazing.
If they haven't already, that
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, because I know that they have started working on some international stuff. I think the last one that I saw is they did a Canadian edition,
Okay, so they're starting to spread throughout North America.
starting to at least, yeah. I don't know if they've already branched out to the UK or not. Maybe done with
Probably, probably no, but what?
over there.
yeah, we have a very famous
Not
magazine that goes out that's just started publishing and has hit the airports, and it's taken them a long time to get to that stage, but that's the most popular one at the minute. But it'd be great to see some competition out there.
Yeah,
Not just
definitely.
in the UK, but also throughout the rest of Europe as well.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yep, guys, please definitely check that out. You've got the website and the comments below. And also, guys, please check out Simply Spooky as well and keep an eye on us growing. Any podcasters who, and it doesn't, necessarily doesn't need to be paranormal. It could be something different. Anything at all, guys, that you're passionate about, please get in contact with myself or Biv. Even message the Simply Spooky page. You could do that as well, guys, but definitely check us out and check out Things Network. I can't forget about Things Network or I'll get the sack. So Things
We
Network.
want to get Things Network t-shirts made. We need to get them to Things Network UK.
Definitely.
I'm actually going to be working on something, so stay tuned for that. It's something that's just been in the thought process for a while. So I am looking at doing Things Network shirts.
And it would probably be obviously for international sales too, right? Not just here for the U.S.
Well, I would like to think that anybody that goes to the website should be able to get it.
Okay, good.
Definitely. But thank you very much, everyone, and we will see you soon. See you later, guys.
Take care.
Bye.